This is the Engines of Our Ingenuity, made possible by the Friends of KUHF, Houston.
Today, French hornist Roger Kaza plays in C. The University of Houston's music school presents this program about the machines that make our civilization run and the people whose ingenuity created them.
Do you remember those three notes from the beginning of the film 2001? They're practically a cliché. But what about the note that comes before? I'm talking about that low rumble which, if you hear it in context, lasts about 20 seconds. It's 20 long seconds in which the composer, Richard Strauss, chose to select just one pitch to represent nature, a primordial hum of the cosmos. For someone with Strauss's ear, there was an obvious candidate, a note on the pedal organ vibrating 16 times per second. That's a very low C. And if you took piano lessons as a child, the first note you ever learned was the one right in the center of the keyboard. That's middle C. If you kept at it, you eventually played the first of Bach's 48 Preludes and Fugues, which starts on middle C. And if you've ever been to the opera or even heard of the sopranos and the tenors' histrionic triumphs and tragedies, you know the note that they simultaneously fear and exult. That's their high C. How can one note have such a reputation? Actually, the musical alphabet begins with C. It's the key signature with no sharps or flats, the white keys on the piano. Some have even called it the white key. Others were more effusive. In 1806, the poet and music theorist Christian Schubart wrote a treatise defining the characteristics of different keys. C major, he wrote, was completely pure. Its character is innocence, simplicity, naivete, children's talk. His opinion may be partly because, up until about the middle of the 19th century, keyboard instruments were tuned in an unequal way that favored some keys over others. The most favored key of all? C major. Of course, there are 11 other notes in the Western musical scale, and so 11 other keys in which to write music. Composers develop unique and highly personal relationships with musical keys. For Beethoven, E-flat major was the key of heroism, as in his Eroica Symphony. For Brahms, E-flat minor was reserved for the blackest of sorrows. Would we stand up for the Hallelujah Chorus were it not set in the triumphant key of D? And Mozart's sunniest, most untroubled key, A major. But C, what is it about C? The California composer Terry Riley began the minimalist movement in 1964. Minimalism now permeates contemporary music. John Adams, Steve Reich, Philip Glass. Riley led his listeners on a ramble through subtly evolving rhythms, but his piece was defined by that single dominating key. And he named his composition exactly what it was, in C. I'm Roger Kaza at the University of Houston, where we're interested in the way inventive minds work.